As a kid growing up in a South African township, I was always fascinated by flavors, colors, and textures. I loved my classics. Papen sishebo, papen flays, chakalaka. That's what I grew up on. I have a million questions about the food we eat. I need to understand where all this food comes from. So I'll be venturing into all corners of South Africa, exploring, searching for answers. My quest is to understand food from the farmer's perspective, from the artists who make magic on the plate. I want to understand how food goes from the earth to the plate. I want to learn to cook like a chef. This is how the show works. A great chef prepares an epic master dish using 3 iconic ingredients. Myself and a friend will attempt to replicate this dish. There is a whole lot of traveling and sourcing to be done. The point is to learn to cook like the chef.
Shall we cook along?
Yes, chef.
What better way than to cook along? So today I've called on Andisiwe. I don't know if this was a good idea because she's quite a good cook. She's doing the reverse of what I'm doing because she started off in culinary and made her way to the screen.
Dad, hi. How are you doing?
I'm good, how's it?
I'm great, man. So good to see you.
Yeah.
I can't get over how beautiful this place is. Just looking at the calmness of the river. It's very green and very calming.
And right in the middle of mountains.
Right? Probably one of the most beautiful places I've been to in the country.
You are going to become a tourist in your own country.
I love it already. I feel like I'm already a tourist, right?
Yeah?
Being just here, yeah. Tell me more about the show.
So the show is about us exploring the country, falling in love more with food, you know, knowing where they come from.
Yeah.
Get the background, know the farmers, the people who harvested all this and make us have this beautiful food.
Wow.
And I believe you'd love that.
I would definitely love that. I think it's such an amazing concept, actually.
Yeah.
Can I cook? Let's just say no stomach has walked out unsatisfied when I make food.
Learning from the best of the best for me means it's another step towards becoming that chef that I want to become. Understanding food the best way I can. And well, for you to become that person, you need to work with the best of the best. That's where Chef Benny comes in.
Hey.
Hey, Patrick. Welcome. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, how's it?
I'm good. Long time.
Hello there.
Andisiwe.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Ooh, I know that guy from TV. Chef Benny. I've always wanted to work with him. I'll be absorbing some knowledge and getting some skills from this guy. So yeah, I'm excited.
Everything that I do is inspired by food that I used to have when I was growing up and mostly cooked by my mom. But also the food around Alexandra Township that people were cooking. South African food. A lot of South African dishes are coming up in restaurants, and we have a group of chefs that are trained under South African chefs. We're getting very creative dishes that are coming out. It's because they're embracing South African ingredients and also our heritage and telling our story. It is important to pass on your knowledge to the next group of chefs. I look at where I come from and how I got to be where I am. It was because I was given an opportunity by somebody else that shared their skills and their knowledge. I have a big duty to do the same to the next batch of chefs that come after me. I cook to make people happy, forget their problems, and just concentrate on the good things in life. This guy, I haven't seen in a long time since the last time I gave him advice about cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I
But
understand.
you still look a bit thin, so you haven't been cooking and eating much, yeah?
No, I've just been cooking and feeding people.
Oh,
Eating myself.
okay.
You know what they say.
When it comes to Patrick, very much proud to say I have shared a bit of my knowledge with him, and looking at the fact that he is so passionate about cooking and loves food will inspire a whole lot of people, and I respect him for that. I've got a dish for you that I prepared that has got a lot of elements, which I'm gonna need you to find out more about before you can start cooking. My biggest thing when it comes to cooking is the ingredients, because the ingredients dictate everything that you're gonna do. We should be proud of our produce, you know? We've got the best produce, and, you know, the world is waiting to find out, you know, everything that we wanna share with them. You must know where your ingredients are from, respect your ingredient, and that way you'll be able to tell a better story with your food with the help of the ingredients.
Wow. You can tell that he's extremely passionate about the food. I feel like anybody he speaks to about food, at whatever level, they will totally get it.
So are you ready to find out what the dish that you're gonna be cooking looks like and tastes like?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Please.
Voila.
Wow. As soon as I saw that dish, yo.
Don't be afraid to come closer.
Yes, I want to ask so many questions.
I saw this is Chef Benny's style, you know, man-sized plate, and I'm thinking, yo, how am I going to cook all of this?
So here I've got mustard mashed potatoes, some sautéed spinach with green peppers and tomatoes, and my favorite, chakalaka puree. Spinach is very close to South Africans' hearts, but sometimes also not their favorite. That was part of the reason to say, get something that South Africans can connect with, have it in a way that you don't normally have it, you know, at your own house. With the peppers, I put them in and I cook them for a very short time so that you get the freshness and the crunch also in the dish. The pepper itself, it was treated as something special that you only have on certain days, not every day. It introduces a lot of stories and memories. It plays a big part when it comes to the colors. And then that lovely herb-crusted Wagyu ribeye steak.
The Wagyu, what's that?
Yeah. Now I got a little bit nervous when he started talking about the type of beef we're going to be making.
A piece of meat like we have, which is ribeye, it's got a lot of fat and marbling, so there's a lot of flavor in there. Plus, it's filleted from the rib bone itself. So all of that is into the meat, and the less you cook it, that's where you get the flavor from. There's no point in the farmers raising it, you know, with such precision, and then you overcook it, you know? That's disrespecting.
That's my thing. That piece of steak looks like something out of this world. Yo.
Patrick, because you fascinated more and interested more with the beef side of things, I want you to go find out more about the beef. I've got this basket for you to bring us a nice piece of steak. You, Andisiwe, I'm gonna give you your basket to get us some of those greens and the spinach that I love so much.
Spinach is spinach. Wagyu beef would have been great because that's exciting.
So this basket, you will go and get and find out more about the peppers that we used in this dish as a team. So Mzansi is your pantry, your cold room, where you're gonna get all of your ingredients.
Thank you, Chef.
Bye.
Chef.
Bye-bye.
Oh, coming this side. I'll hold it this side.
I've just seen the dish and I'm now heading to the first farm where I'm going to get the spinach. It's the most beautiful drive from Johannesburg. The scenery, the mountains. I think actually Mpumalanga is probably the most beautiful province in South Africa.
Yabona uma ubuka liplazi angeke ucabange liplazi lemfati liplazi leli plazi lamake lokuqinile loshanga phakathi ngento yakhe lafuna kuyenda ngimake lothanza kulima kubona my dreams ekulimeni. To me it means something great. I'm Patricia Maposa. Ngiphila ngokulima so. Yes. Before the farm, I was a secretary. Then I decided, no, the best now, I have to start to work on my own. Good defender, le feeling yami leninayo ngifuna kuyiprove so that everyone could see that a woman like me can do something that can employ people, can make the living for different homes.
Sawubona ma.
Hawu yebo ngane yami.
Kunjani?
Ngikhona sis.
So my first impressions of Mom Patricia, oh man, ngumama omdala onesidima othandekayo, onobele, just opened her home to us. Yintoni ekwenza wangena kwi-farming, if you don't mind me asking?
Lenzawo lena mfana ngilimile kiyo kudla kwami kukuncane nje. Then kwanginike idea ukuthi I have to make applications. Uthola lo mhlaba.
Oh, okay.
95 ngende application to the government.
Oh, yes.
To get this land. 1999 ngaqala ukudibusha and planting. The land which I've got, it's my own. Ngepower. Yekusebenza. Then ngaqala ngahlanyela mas, cabbage, tomatoes. Then ngakhula.
Yebo ma.
Ngawina ama-awards.
Oh.
Yes. Uma uwina, you feel like you just flying like a bird. Very, very, very amazing to see such an old woman like me doing well like that.
Zindoni ezona challenges okhe wadibana nazo?
There's lots of challenges, mfanam. You have to be patient, and you can plant not knowing ukuthi there's a hail coming.
Of course.
The next day the hail is there. All your crops are finished. Uyowashaya aphele mfana ama crops akho aphele. Sometimes kuba nekudla ama leftovers. Kuyasala mfana. So you don't have to throw it away, give it to the pigs. You don't do that.
So we use tin.
Uyakubeka, faka kahle kuma crates. And you give to the people labahlupheka kakhulu. Nabo bakhona ukuphila.
Oh,
yes, that's what I'm doing.
We need more women like Mom Patricia. She shows resilience and determination. I found her to be a black woman who's exemplary of what we should strive to be. Masicela lift up Patricia phana ke ku spinach. Yabo? Walking through the farm fields was a bit of a challenge for me when we got to a certain stage, getting to the spinach part of the farm.
Don't worry, I will hold. When I was at Dolopeni, not to fall.
But yes, it was a fun experience. I've never been on a tractor.
Ngibona nje spinach samsihle uyasibona.
Oh, sihle kakhulu nje baba abantu xa besithi sona simnandi sihle nyana.
Yes, and sine taste. Asambe sobona sitholana.
Okay ke ma. Is spinach besi fresh? This is cool. Siyabonakala ukuthi she puts a lot of care into it. It was clean.
You make sure your soil is rich. Uyabona. Then uyakhona ukuthola lamacembe lawa.
Ayazikhulela.
Ayakhula ngani ngalo lokufake lapha kulomhlaba wakho yabona.
Okay.
Uma ufuna ukuhlanyela spinach, you must be very clever. I see into longayihlanyela ingatholi i-tender care. You've got to look after it.
So ikhona into oyisebenzayo ukuthi ama insects angasidli spinach.
Siyasifaka dishwasher.
A dishwasher.
Yes, the soap.
Okay.
Spray it.
Oh, really?
Right up from the beginning.
You don't always have to use pesticides to keep the pest away. You can use more of a natural pesticide.
Normally, you can take just a bit of air. See.
Just to taste.
Yes. Yes.
It's crunchier, definitely, and really fresh. Maybe use it in a juice or a smoothie because it's got a very pungent taste.
It's fluffy, smooth, and tasty.
Very.
You can cook your spinach, but not over 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Very short in minutes and seconds, 5 to 7 minutes. It's cooked. Take it out. But I prefer, I would say, chop it, make it as a salad.
So you have to take it from the root.
Yes,
Why is that?
you do that so that the stem at the bottom must give
Ihlale.
more new leaves.
So izoqhubeka ikhula even after
Hayi iyaqhubeka mfana. Not everybody uyafika nje eplazini asuthunyiwe ishef ukuthola ma fresh vegetable straight from the farm. Into lengakavami leyo. Asengikunike nali le bhansela mntwana nami. Utofika upheke kahle ekhaya.
Oh, ngiyabonga ma.
So I'm proud of that, for being a woman that can do something kujabulisa labanye bantu.
I was so happy to meet Mom Patricia. I thought it's a beautiful story to tell, especially because it's another black woman who's in a way inspiring. She put her whole heart into it, and yeah, uyenza for uthando, really.
I knew I wanted to farm when we got our first kid, because you started reading up about GMO and what they can eat and what they can't eat, and you're like, no ways, this sucks. Let's grow the good stuff. What we do here is called a regenerative farming. You're looking to produce effectively carbon negative beef by pulling more carbon out of the air back into the soil and putting the plant growth back into the animal. You can produce beef on a fantastic way and still produce oxygen, essentially.
As soon as I drove into the Wagyu farm, that place looked so surreal, like something from a movie. The ambience, the silence, it's beautiful.
I've heard a lot of myths about this steak. Some say the cow has to be massaged. Some say you have to sing a lullaby to the cow. But today, I am here for the real story.
Hi. How's it?
I'm good. I'm Patrick.
Martin, pleased to meet you, Patrick.
I'm pleased to meet you too. When I think cattle, I think your Bonsmara, your Brahman, you know. These cattle, they look nothing like the ones that I know. So I'm wondering, what's so special about these cows?
Wagyu means our cow. That's a Japanese black Wagyu cattle. Japan raised Wagyu as draft animals, and they worked the fields. So they bred them for stamina. And about 100 years ago, when they started eating Wagyu, they realized they got much better beef than any other Western or African breeds. Wagyu is the best beef there is, and they're grass-fed, ethically produced, no growth hormones, nothing.
Where I'm from, I'm used to cows just grazing anywhere in the bushes and everything. Why this plant? What is this plant?
So this is lucerne. With Wagyu, you don't want to give them too much proteins like maize and grains and things, because they're not allowed to gain more than 1 kilogram a day. Lucerne is the biggest protein source they get. It's got about 14% protein on average, which is perfect for Wagyu. It's a long-term thing, and it's also great from an ecological point of view to get directly off the fields. We started with a feedlot. We had 400 head of cattle and growth hormones and a bunch of different feeds and maize and tractors running around. It was psycho. And we said, let's get a grass-fed thing going. And the best grass-fed cattle that you can find is Wagyu. And we ended up with them about 6 years ago. And they're specifically bred for marbled beef.
This whole marbling concept is quite mind-boggling, because the only marbling I know is playing marbles when we were young.
Marbling means the intramuscular fat displacement between the muscle tissue. You literally see marble with the fat running all through the cellular structure. It's got a much lower melting point than normal beef, 23 degrees Celsius versus 36. So it literally melts in your mouth, which makes it this buttery, awesome piece of beef. Grass-fed tuna, if you want. And it's a long process. Wagyu only starts marbling at 28 months, which means the traditional farming sense is thrown out the window. You have to have patience. It's a long-term thing. And you end up with this beautiful quality product.
How much would we say is a normal steak?
Rand-wise?
Yeah, rand-wise.
If you look at prime, where we grade it as a prime steak, it's about 600 rand for a 200 gram. It is pretty expensive, but it's a high-risk, long-term venture. I think that's why it's pricey. So from a cooking point of view, you're standing in a pot of gold right now.
I have a chef to impress. So please tell me, what's the best way to cook my steak?
On a cast iron sizzling smoking hot pan, as quick as possible. You want that pure buttery Wagyu, it's got a flavor on its own. A little bit of coarse salt just before you cook it is fine. You got to look after the beef. I mean, it took us 4 years to grow this thing, so don't overcook it ever. Whatever's inside should stay inside. It's the best quality you can do, and if you can do your part and sort of grow with it and actually do something good for our little planet that we're living on and produce a fantastic Wagyu steak, the bonuses are immense. If it's sitting here, it's just awesome.
I came in with a million myths about this famous steak, and now I am living with the real story. This is more than a search for ingredients. Every new venture reawakens my curiosity. This is a masterclass like no other. It's a life lesson to last me a lifetime.
In the morning when I wake up, I just walk outside. I smell the fresh air, and being there in the field and just looking at the plants and everything, it's therapeutic for my soul. I feel good and I know that God is alive. When I was growing up, I was in primary school. I came to visit my grandmother here. I was sitting on top of the house watching an old man, and he was busy working this land. From that day when I saw that man do this thing, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
For a country with such great land inequalities, I get excited by young, black, vibrant farmers.
Welcome to Sihlangu Organics.
He doesn't seem like your typical farmer, but I guess you don't meet a lot of black farmers. So what do you farm here?
Basically here we focus on the fruits and the greeny vegetables. By the fruits I imply the tomato and the green peppers. Our farm is an organic farm. In that sense, we eliminate a lot of addition of chemicals. Here in Bosplas, we do fruits. That's your green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, tomato. I'm farming on a small scale, but the environment that I farm in is 100% under my control. So weather, temperature, seasons don't affect me. I'm immune to them. So when the big farms can't plant a certain commodity, I maximize, and that's when I make my greatest profit. This is what I've always wanted to do all my life. It was my grandmother's house. We were doing subsistence farming. So we didn't have all these pipes and the water and all these structures. It was just open land.
Oh wow, so you've always lived off farming on this land?
Yes. So I'm the third generation now.
It's very similar to how I grew up in rural Transkei in the Eastern Cape. We farmed. My grandmother also loved growing her own crops, and I love the fact that he decided to continue it on.
Well, I would like to see what we came here for.
Yeah,
Not a problem. Let's go ahead.
Well, when we walked into the greenhouse, I thought it looked really pretty. But as you get in there, it is a boiling hot.
Doesn't this heat somewhat affect the fruit itself?
In the tropics, the US, it's very hot and humid. That heat helps to mimic the natural environment there.
Everything about his work on the farm is scientific. So I see you have red and green.
Someone turning yellowish.
Yeah, I don't understand the yellow. I see the red and green. I understand the yellow.
There are certain recessive genes of colors in all the green peppers. But occasionally you can find a purple one whereby maybe the red and the yellow crossed. The bee went from the flower of the yellow pepper to the flower of the red pepper. There's about more than 20 different colors, study peppers in South Africa.
And I only know 3.
But here we only get red, yellow, green, purple, orange and brown.
How do I know that they're ready to be picked, or do I just pick
do you have to get to
any?
a certain size?
Well, basically, when the green pepper starts changing color, it shows maturity.
Okay.
It means that seed can grow another green pepper.
Well, I would like to plant my own now.
Guys, what most of us don't realize is that it is actually very possible to plant 10 or 11 different plants at home in less than a square meter. You can sustain a family of 6 to 8 people with fresh fruits and vegetables daily.
So how do you know or make sure that the soil is ready to start planting?
Add a lot of plant matter. Actually,
Is
if
this
you
the
pick up
plant
this
matter?
clod, I can show you something.
This
That
one?
piece, yes.
Ooh, it's very light.
Yes. So if we break it up, you see there's a whole lot of roots that are there from the previous plant. So what we've done, we dug trenches where there are beds, and then we took all the chicken poo, we buried it under so that it can rot there. Everything on the farm, it feeds the next product. We have chickens. Our chickens will feed our plants through the manure and all the waste that comes from the chickens. We utilize it in the lands and in the tunnels. Our fish also helps to feed the plants that are in the tunnels, so we don't waste. Siwe, you're fortunate. Today you get a better manicure than what the shop can give you, a natural one.
I was afraid of getting my nails dirty, but oh well, whatever, we're in a farm.
What we do, we break the soil there so the roots can be a bit free. Where we're gonna do the plant, you just put in your finger halfway,
God.
you remove the soil a little bit, you put the plant, and you just put soil liberally there.
Planting that seed felt so good, I must say. Playing with the soil made me feel like a child. Again.
Come, let's go grab your basket of green peppers.
Let's rock.
Thanks for coming. The next wars that we are going to experience in the world will be more about clean water and food. Farming on a small scale like this to food security, it means the local people can buy locally produced food at the least of the cost. The average man on the street who buys my stuff saves a lot of money.
The fact that South Africa has now become our shopping mall is something very special. And also that we will be giving Chef Benny these fresh, beautiful ingredients is something that I will never take for granted.
I think Chef Benny will definitely be impressed with what we've come back with and excited to start cooking.
Nice. Lovely looking greens, huh? They've seen the end product and now they've seen how everything that was on that plate was produced. And for me, it helped in putting their headspace in the right place to produce and tell their own story and also tell the farmer's story with what they're going to produce.
The owner of the farm for the Wagyu.
Yeah.
He loves his job. Here his heart is here. And the green pepper farmer, that one is a scientist. That one. Like, he's very scientific. It was the first time we met like a farmer who knows his science so much.
And I met Patricia. She's got the spinach farm. Very nice mama. Also very, very passionate. She said, in order for you to enjoy farming, you have to absolutely love it.
And there I am like smiling inside and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's a first sign that they got the message. People have a lot of passion invested in what they do and they want to do it right because they, in a way, are telling you their story. Now, it's time for us to make magic with all of these raw ingredients and produce a masterpiece.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do this. Good luck, Siwe.
They've got everything that they need. They've got all the tools. Now the games are going to begin and we're just going to have fun in the kitchen. So the first thing before we do anything is to gather all of our ingredients that we want. We're going to have a lot of storytelling happening on the plate. And I can see that they were into what they heard from the farmers. They've embraced that and they're going to show their appreciation for what they've learned and what they have in front of them. And they're going to put it on that plate. So we're going to start with our mashed potato because it takes a long time to do. We're going to peel the 2 potatoes that you have in front of you. Potatoes.
The mash is the first ingredient that we'll be making. It's not the hero ingredient, but today I will be making it with a professional, and that's gonna make it so special.
Then I kgoy them inside.
Yeah, kgoy them inside.
Okay,
Kgoy.
Yeah.
it's done.
So now we've got the potatoes going on. That gives us time to start working on our herb crust.
I've never had my steak with herb crust, and I've always wanted to. And today, I just want to nail it.
Parsley and thyme. I particularly chose thyme because it goes very well with grilled meats. So we're gonna chop this up. Easy, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Nice. Careful. Don't let the blade get to your finger.
Never,
Yeah.
no. Tuck them in, right? That's normal. That's what I usually do anyway. It's an everyday thing for me.
Hey, you can see the knife action there on Pat, you know? Yeah, the training is there, for real.
My knife skills are evolving. I can actually feel the inner chef in me waking up.
Yeah, I'm actually very impressed that you are catching up. I like that. I can see the enthusiasm as they're working and how they're following my instructions. I love the confidence. There's nothing that beats any chef or any cook that's going to produce a meal and they have the confidence behind them. And then you work it with your hands. So what you're mixing is the herbs and the butter and the breadcrumbs together. Yeah.
This is my favorite part. Because like I went to pick these green peppers with my hands.
Exactly.
So I have to feel it.
Yeah.
How you treat your food will be felt in the taste. And I will be putting all my love into this food, the same way the farmer puts their love into the ingredient.
And then we're going to roll this into a sausage shape.
I finished before both Chef Benny and Pat. Chef Benny, we're done.
Yeah, it's good. So just put it underneath and put it in the fridge so it sets and hardens.
I'm up against a seasoned cook. She's clinical, constantly ahead of us. I'm literally watching her and she's just so good.
The next thing, we're gonna chop up ingredients for our chakalaka. The pepper for me tells a lot of stories. In this case, it represents something that is important for us as South Africans. We love our 7 colors, and especially over the weekend, and the pepper plays a very important part.
This reminds me when my mother always, on Sunday, and she's like,
Yeah,
"You don't do it.
yeah.
Peeler, grater."
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, she's the magician, so she does the magic, combining the ingredients. You gotta do the prep.
Hey.
That's what entry-level chefs do in professional kitchens.
Yeah.
The conversation that we had before with having the passion and love for cooking, I can see that happening now in the kitchen because already you invested in this whole process because you love doing it. So you add in the onions, then the garlic. Once it's, the onions have softened up.
Chef, this is me playing ketchup. So after the onions, I put in which spices?
After the onions, you put garlic, and then you put the spice that is in front of you, you put half of it.
This is not how I usually make chakalaka. I usually buy just a can and just throw it in there. But then now this is a whole new experience for me. And I'm enjoying it, funny enough.
Mix all of that chilies in. Also, chilies, when you put it in a hot pan, just by its own, it's just going to produce fumes that are going to make you cough. So that's why you put it in when there's already other things in the pot.
Well, I'm comfortable, I'm confident. Cooking comes somewhat naturally to me, so I'm enjoying it.
Andisiwe, she has that natural feel when it comes to cooking. I think she has much more experience in the kitchen than Patrick does, and you could see that in the flow. I get somebody that is trying to match my pace. At the same time, Patrick is somehow getting, left behind.
Me, again, catching up. Did you add salt and pepper?
Yes, salt and pepper, just a pinch each.
I know I'm the rookie here, but I'm telling you, the challenge is on.
Guys, we've got 16 minutes left, and we gotta finish this. If you got your water in the bottles, just put it in a bowl. We're gonna do the spinach soon. The second most important ingredient that we have for this cook-along is the spinach. Very little cooking that needs to be done. You just have to break the fibers that your body might not be able to process quickly, but then keep that freshness, that crispness, that earthiness that you get from the spinach. So I've got boiling water here in this pot, and the cleaned spinach leaves, you just dump them in there. Par cooking the spinach to soften it up and also bring out that bright green color of the spinach. Yeah? What I'm looking forward to is them blanching it as quick as possible and shocking it and cooling it down. Shocking means stopping it from cooking because it comes from a hot pot with boiling water, and then very short stir frying or sautéing in the pan to preserve all of those nutrients and vitamins that you get from the spinach. There's that sizzling sound. Remember, very little cooking because I still want the goodness of those vegetables.
This blanching thing is very tricky. There's a thin line between undercooking it and getting it just right, and that's one thing that I'm very worried about.
So it looks like my chakalaka is okay. I'm gonna remove it. We're gonna have to puree it.
Ouch.
I'm afraid we're running a bit behind with everything, so we just need to hurry up, yeah? Next thing, we're gonna do our meat, the Wagyu. It's one ingredient that you have to treat with a lot of care, cooking it minimally, that all the flavor and all the work that was put in it is translated to your mouth. And the knowledge behind it will guide you to how you're gonna present it. It's the marbling that we were talking about, and the flavor comes from this fat that's deposited in between the meat.
And now it's time to make the expensive steak. Just holding this steak, you can feel the weight of its presence. It really deserves the respect that it has.
So once it's like that, you put it on the skillet and you leave it. You let it cook.
Wow.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You want to preserve, all of that work that went into producing that piece of meat so that you can yield all of that marbling and the flavor that you get from the Wagyu. So you don't want to overcook it. You want the ingredient to speak for itself. And then we're gonna turn the steak. You mustn't be flipping the steak like you're doing stir fry. You turn it once. When I turn it, you will see the grill marks and the golden brown color that we're looking for. Remember, I want it medium rare, so it doesn't require a lot of cooking.
This steak is making me nervous because I like my steak well done. But this steak is different, and I want to get it right. I want to make it the way Chef Benny likes it.
Your oven is already hot, so we're gonna stick it in the oven and gratinate it to brown it. So you need to clear up everything that you don't need and get ready to plate because we have 2 minutes remaining.
Today, I am putting my neck on the line. I am going to plate like an artist.
So it should be like that. Already loving how this thing looks. I'm gonna take my steak out. Hallelujah. There, it's looking lovely, golden brown on the top. It's gonna introduce that crunch that I want in the plate. Patrick, this is how it's supposed to look like.
Wagyu has to be perfectly medium rare. I don't want to know what mine is, so I'm just gonna plate it as is. We will find out when Chef Benny cuts it.
You guys are cutting it fine, but I'm glad that you are keeping up with my pace. Whoa, I like your plating. Yeah, okay. Nice. That's looking good. Make sure you get those juices onto the plate, yeah? I'm finished plating, so you guys should be also. I didn't really have to coach them much. I just needed to tell them what to do next. So the confidence in the knowledge of the ingredients and also the synergy that we have of the love that we have for cooking, is there. 10, 9.
This is it. This is how the story of 3 farms come together all in one plate. I hope the farmers are proud wherever they are.
1. That's it. Stop the work. Well done. Let's see what you guys have produced.
I think I got the steak almost perfect, if not perfect. I'm not sure, but it looks really good. And my greens are looking good. I'm not sure about my chakalaka. It looks a bit chunky, but we'll see.
My plating looks okay, I believe. I've just learned that being a chef, you also need to know art, At times, that's like the one part that I always fail, plating.
Cooking along with them was the best thing because I didn't feel like I'm teaching them how to cook. We're just having fun in the kitchen and appreciating everything that we have to work with. Here we are with our lovely plates, and I must just congratulate you for finishing up on time. And this is looking mighty good. But as you know, we have to taste it to see if it tastes as beautifully as it looks. Yeah?
Looking at all the dishes, I think there's a lot of effort and they look very beautiful. The steaks particularly look like they've all been properly done. Pat is the only one who decided not to cut his, so that should be an interesting reveal.
This is the first time I would have cooked a medium rare steak.
Okay.
So yeah, fingers crossed. For the first time in my life, I hope my steak is perfect.
Starting with Patrick, looking at his dish, out of all 3 dishes, including mine, he had the best crust.
Oof, his crust was absolutely perfect, but I felt lacked vegetables and pop of color because his steak was so big on the plate.
Andisiwe, in terms of the plating, firstly it was, the most creative. She made those quenelles with the mash, and she had 3 of them, and she had that sautéed spinach with peppers and tomatoes. Perfect, the crunchiness and the peppers. She presented them nicely.
Sure. Some good steak.
Andisiwe's plate is on point. Like, everything is perfect. I just hope my steak will be my saving grace.
You are the one that went to the Wagyu farm and you got all the knowledge, and as a result, your crust was on point and the meat definitely on point. So yeah, you've learned a lot and you've used what you learned.
Thank you.
And the fact that his Wagyu steak was the thinnest, but he was able to cook it to perfection because it was nice and medium rare. And Andisiwe, when it comes to your chakalaka, the spiciness in there is the one. All of those senses that I wanted, were in there. Probably chose the biggest chili, which was the best thing to do, the fruitiness and a little bit of tartness that is in there, But with the spinach and also the Wagyu beef and the mustard seeds and the mash, it just blended in perfectly in my mouth. For people that didn't have, the amount of training that I've had and experience that I've had, to me it was a moment of pride to say, we've always said, we've got this. Let's tell our own story.
From your plate, I love the mash. It was the smoothest out of all 3, I think. Obviously, looked like chef's dish. Similar to his first original one that he revealed to us. Everything looked great.
So ultimately, there has to be a winner on the day, and I'm happy to announce that the winner for me on the day is Andisiwe. You did the most. Everything that she had on that plate was cooked to perfection for me. The understanding of your ingredients will let you do a better job and tell a better story, which for me, she embraced all of that and told her story with that masterpiece that she presented to me. Here's to cooking along with you guys.
Yeah.
This journey has been incredible. From discovering unexplored cattle myths to mingling with advanced farming minds and inspiring game changers, the future of South African food and farming is in great hands.